I think that we are all out here today in March 4th at the UC San Diego campus at K through 12, JCs, state schools, and UCs through up and down the state. We're out here today to reclaim what they're telling us is a privilege when we know it's our right. 32% fee increases, cuts to staffing, cuts to student services. These are things that are obviously going to impact every single aspect of our time and our really just our path towards trying to get a degree that will mean something in this world that can get us a better job. Those are the very obvious, very tangible things that we're fighting against. Those are things that we can say in statistics, but the things that aren't mentioned, it's the message that this is sending to us as students. We're seeing a complete redistribution of priorities in higher education. By increasing fees so much, by cutting classes, by forcing us to take out loans, go into debt, work 2 jobs just to be able to try to get into classes that we can't even get into because there's not enough enrollment size, we're being shown that we're not wanted here. The UC Regents and administration has made it painfully clear that as undergrad students, we are no longer a priority in this state. They keep pointing fingers to Sacramento, saying it's the legislature's fault, that there's not enough money. If that's the case, then we demand transparency in the use of public education funds.
The abandonment of affordable public education for all qualified students is an undermining of democratic society itself. Racial emergencies like the one we've been experiencing on our UC San Diego campus exemplifies that we have not been achieving racial equity on campus. This will only be exacerbated by the rising fees unless affirmative measures are made. A June 2009 Public Policy Institute of California study found that by 2025, California will face a shortage of 1 million college-educated workers. While 40% of California jobs will require a bachelor degree, only 35% of the adults will have one.
We're here to support the students for the future of UC. That is a public good. It's not McDonald's.
So basically, we want to tell the university that we know that you have less money. So we're asking the state to increase its funding because it's just absurd how they keep taking money away from the university. But we also know that the university has a lot of money. And we know that because there's a lot of smart people in this university, especially people that are smart with numbers. And they're keeping an eye on the situation. And they're not buying this whole excuse that the university administration is trying to spin, that this is all about Sacramento taking money away. We're with you in terms of getting more money for the university. But we also want you to spend the money around in a better way. If you spend all your money on building expensive labs and you take all the money away from instruction, this university is going to cease to function. It's not going to work. And right now, the university has become an apparatus, a machine that's out of control. It's in a tailspin. It's spending most of its money on things that make it money. It's being run like a corporation. It's run by people that come from corporations.
But what really exists here is a crisis of priorities. That teaching is the fourth out of 3 priorities really at this university in many ways, unfortunately. And that's something that students have to be aware of. That's something that parents have to be aware of. And we have to keep up the pressure today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, 2 years from now, because this problem has been going on for 30 years and it's not getting any better.